And Putin is the successor to that legacy because he was also in the KGB. And we're now in an environment that between the terminal demographic structure of the Soviet/Russian system and Putin's personal paranoia, so he's gone through and purged what was left of the KGB, FSB, of anyone who has personal ambitions to succeed him. We're left with an entire political elite of only about 130 people. And Putin has removed anyone who has leadership ambitions.
Oh, geez.
Now, they all see the world the same way. They all kind of agree with Putin on what's at stake here. But it does mean that when this generation is gone, this is it. This is all the leadership talent that the country has.
So because of his sort of top-down approach, he's eliminated all the possibility of future leaders in some way.
Even if Russia did have a replacement generation coming up, and it doesn't, he's taken steps to make sure that they can't challenge him. And so any sort of leadership talent has left or been killed.
What do they hope happens? And when everything's going so poorly, like what do we know about how they're assessing things?
Well, they're obviously not thrilled with the way the things are. They're using one bit of propaganda after another to justify it, saying that, we're fighting all of NATO, or demons are involved. That was my personal favorite.
Demons?
Oh, yeah. When it came to the Kherson offensive and it became clear that there was more going on than just NATO weapons, the Ukrainians actually knew what they were doing. They changed the line from that these are all Nazis to these are actually gay demons.
Gay?
Gay demons, yes.
What?
Yeah, Russian propaganda is a hoot.
Please explain the gay demons.
Oh, I don't know if I can explain it. I'm just saying that this is the official line right now, is that we have
But how do they-
homosexual demons fighting us in Ukraine.
But why gay demons? Like, what
Well,
is there a mythology to that?
not really. The guy who's in charge of the Orthodox Church is a Putin crony. Kirill is his name. He's kind of like the Eastern Orthodox Pope, if you will. And he has been a partner with organized crime and with Putin since the beginning. And so he is coming up with ever more creative approaches to the propaganda. And so this is a way of, how can I say this without pissing off half of the people listening? Imagine Trump using his influence with evangelical Christians to come up with a theological reason why something didn't go his way. It's kind of the equivalent of that. And so gay demons is what he came up with.
Gay demons.
Yes, and they ran with it. So that's on state propaganda now.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
wild.
And what's the epicenter of the gay demons?
Oh, Kiev, obviously.
Kiev.
Yeah, so we've got a Jewish Nazi gay demon.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Truth is always weirder than fiction.
the scary rumor is that Putin has cancer, and that
Or Parkinson's is one I've heard as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. He's clearly on steroids, but that could mean a whole lot of things.
Like prednisone or something along
Yeah.
those lines. And you say that because of his appearance?
Yeah,
Like-
he looks very, not just flushed, but puffy.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a classic too many steroids in your system issue.
And this puffiness is these steroids are to battle this cancer somehow?
In theory, steroids keep you going in a time when you should probably be laying down is really the kind of the bottom line. Whether he's medicated, over-medicated, or medicated because of medical reasons, we really don't know. He's not in great health. That is obvious. And for someone who has been the shirtless horseback rider in the propaganda videos, that's a real problem. He's visibly wearing bulletproof or bullet-resistant vests, even around his own propaganda people. There was this great piece that came out that I saw last week where it was all the propaganda shots that he's taken with the soldiers' mothers and on the front and with the tech people and in the intelligence. And it was like the same 12 people were in every single shot, just in different outfits. And even with those people, he's wearing his ballistic vest.
Now, when you say when you talk about his appearance that he's clearly unhealthy, is there? Can you demonstrate that? Are there images that show him a couple of years ago versus now, where you could see his appearance?
Yeah, it's not much of a reach. Like I said, he likes to pose shirtless on horseback to show how virile he is.
He didn't look good on shirtless on a horseback.
Yeah, I know.
To be
You got to
honest
look
with
at it from the Russian point of view. I mean, the standards are a little different.
Are they?
Oh yeah, and he's got the shakes. That's one of the reasons why the Parkinson's analysis, I guess, has come out.
I've never seen any of this.
Yeah, it's
So there's video of him
Yeah.
shaking.
hmm
See if you can find any of that, Jamie. See if you can find a comparison.
Yeah, I got an article on like a timeline of his health.
Okay.
Here's the shakes part. Let's
Go.
see.
yeah, and
It's
he's
a 3-minute video. So we'll
he
just
used to
watch
be
it,
a
I guess.
fairly animated speaker.
Boy, he does look puffy.
Now, whether or not he's actually sick or not, I have no idea.
Could it just be that he's just drinking a lot?
Technically, he says he's a teetotaler, which is pretty rare in Russian society. But he's still alive, and a lot of Russians make it to his age,
How old is he now?
mid-60s.
And so it's just an appearance thing. We don't have any like real hard data
No,
that he's
no,
sick.
we do. Well, the folks in the intelligence world who are listening to his phone calls and reading his email might, but that has not been made public, to my knowledge, from the American side.
So Ukrainian military intelligence chief claims Putin is very sick and a coup is underway.
Yeah, but
What do you think?
Donov has been saying that there's a coup underway since March. So he's kind of the Ukrainian propaganda guy. I wouldn't put too much.
And how would
Credence in
that? But what would even happen there?
Well,
What if a coup did take
You see,
place?
Putin has so thoroughly purged that what's left of the intelligentsia, there's only 130 of them, and there's probably only one of them who would have the guts to throw a coup. That's the Rosneft CEO. Rosneft is their oil monopoly. Igor Sechin is his name. He used to be a gun runner during the Soviet period. He's got the guts to pull it off. But if there's anything that the other 129 agree, is that Sechin's an asshole and he should be shot on sight if he kills Putin.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, so there's no like immediate pretender to the throne here.
What a fucked up situation.
Well, for the Europeans who have been dealing with the Russians for 3 centuries, this is kind of par for the course.
It's just a modern version of it.
Yeah. Yeah, the Soviet period was kind of a relief because we actually had an institution that pushed their weird religion to the side and actually worked on technocracy and technology. And from the European point of view, that was a huge improvement. And the belief in the post-Soviet period was that they would start from that and move forward and modernize and maybe even democratize. And people believed that for far too long, even when it was clear that Russia was degenerating rather than advancing itself.
Now, the title of your book is "The End of the World is Just the Beginning."
That's the one.
Why that?
We are dealing with the end of the world that we know. Russia is more of a symptom of this than a cause. So to go back a little bit, in the world before World War II, if you had coal, oil, food, and iron ore, you could industrialize and try to make something of yourself. But if you failed to have one of those, you were probably a colony. At the end of the war, the Americans abolished the imperial system and patrolled the global oceans for everyone. And as a result, now you only needed one of those 4, and you could trade for the others.